Hey everybody, welcome to Saved Over Success Move Like a Boss, a virtual live event. This is so awesome. I thank you so much for tuning in. While you're in here, go here and share, click like, click share. I had to steal that from another creator, but click like, click share, and invite your followers to this. This is going to be an amazing event. So with Saved Over Success, and what we do is we connect other bosses with each other. Okay, we connect other businesses, no matter what it is. It can be the music industry, it can be church setting, it could be whatever, artistry, painting, it doesn't matter. You can be a tax collector. Business is business, right? So I just love business. I love creating business. It's my degree. I have 2 degrees in there. And so I'm just the connection to it all, right? And I decided to, let me say who I am. Oh my God, how disrespectful am I? My name is Jeneea Moore, also known as the Fire Starter. My job is to ignite, it's to motivate, it's to help stir up gifts in others. Look, trust me, I can't even help it. That's just what I do. And I am so excited about this online extravaganza that we have today. We have some amazing speakers. They're going to be presenting their business, getting a lot of information. So tune in, get your paper and pen. You're going to want to write this information down. Now, let's get to Move Like a Boss and why this came about all together. So I have been an entrepreneur for about since 2017. Definitely done shows, I've done radio, I performed, put on events, put on concerts, and all this good stuff. And then Saved Over Success was founded at that time as well. But I still was a worker bee, meaning I had my day job, okay, working on my business and books and all that stuff throughout the day, but I still had a day job. And so one day I had to think about it all these years later in operating as an entrepreneur, and even other businesses, helping people in their businesses. I was like, I have been an employee in my own business. I have been putting CEO, founder, because it sounds good, it looks good, but in reality, I have been operating as an employee. So that is how Move Like a Boss has been established. So it's not like do boss moves like people say. I mean, to each his own. What I'm referring to as literally operating, moving in your business, functioning as a CEO, as a founder, as a vice president in your organization, actually moving like a boss. And that is where that came from. Okay. So once again, Move Like a Boss in the organization. We what networking, building businesses, connecting business one another, helping businesses flourish and get to that next level. We want to focus on success. We want to focus on uplifting our community as well and strengthening our network of businesses, because there's so many businesses in San Antonio alone, let alone all over the country. And if I don't know what you're doing, how can I support you? Right? So that's what it's all about. Now, this is the 3rd annual Move Like a Boss, for open for male and females, because the first 2 was all about women. But I know this is going to continue to grow. I'm so excited about it, and I hope you guys are excited about it too. So I'm going to move it along, and I'm going to start, and I'm just going to talk to you about the topic is execute. Okay, be in front of you long like the pastor says. But literally, we're going to talk about execution. Okay, because when it comes to business, a lot of times we do not execute the plan, the thoughts. We just don't put things in motion. So when you get done and you finish hearing the amazing speakers that's going to come up right behind me, I want you to begin to, I hope it activates something in you that makes you want to execute effectively in your business. So execute, when I think about the word execute and also the definition, it means to carry out, to put into effect, and also means to create. So we want to definitely carry out the vision of our business, okay? If you do not have a business plan, I recommend it. I'm even going to force myself to sit down to do it. Why? Because it's important to keep you on schedule. So when it comes to planning, you have to be organized. You got to be orderly. When you do a plan, it's like plan, it's step-by-step process of completing something. It's intended to give you a clear path of a course of actions that you need to execute. It's for you to be have a purpose, an intended purpose while you're operating your business. When you produce, that's number 2. That means to bring forth. It means to yield, okay? To create physical and mental efforts towards a thing. Now, we do a lot of things for everybody. You want to do these things for within yourself and your own organization as well. It is to cause something to occur, to exist, right? We have all these businesses in our mind. I have many books in my head, and I'm like, I gotta put forth all of these things. I gotta get it out, get it on paper, and produce the results. So you want to make it exist, because it can't just dwell in your mind. It has to exist in our reality so other people can see it and buy it, and you can make money off of it as well. Now then, guess what? You're going to be able to what? Prosper. You're going to be able to prosper in your business. Okay? If you're not making money, it's a hobby. I repeat, if you're not making money, you're operating in a hobby. That's just what it is. Okay? It's an expensive hobby because you end up putting money into it, but you want to yield and get it out, right? So in order to prosper, what? You got to be successful in your business, okay? There's different levels to success. What does success look to you? Just making it exist? No. Producing and getting funds from it, you should include and interpret that as well, okay? So you want to be successful, you want to succeed, you want to be fortunate, you want to be prosperous, you want to gain, you want to thrive, you want to increase, you want to grow, you want to be well known in your business, you want your money to work for you. That is being prosperous. It's like saying making money while you're asleep. That's being prosperous. And that's where I hope you guys, when you leave here today, you begin to really, really get down, get focused, and execute in your business. All right. So we're going to keep it going and moving it along, and we're going to invite our first speaker of today. Okay, we're not going to waste no time today. And let's make sure everything is good here. And if you guys have any questions, please put your questions in the chat. And also, I have a surprise for you. So whoever is the first person indicating in the chat, I have a special gift for the person that's still here. So without further ado, this young lady is so amazing. I met her at our second annual Move Like a Boss movement. She is just a powerhouse in her own right. I call her, she don't even know what I call her, but the quiet storm is what I literally call her, because she's reserved, but she has such, just a powerful ball of information and effective information. So without further ado, I'm going to invite our speaker of today, Miss Amanda. How are you doing?
I am good. How are you guys? Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, everybody hear you. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience. I'm going to back out and let you go ahead.
Okay. All right. So hi, you guys. Jeneea, now she said that I'm reserved. That's because she doesn't know me just yet. I am a talker, so I'm going to go ahead and put myself on a little timer just to make sure that everyone has a chance to talk today. But Yeah, so this month's topic is execute. If you see me looking down, I have my notes up just to keep me on track. But with peeling back the layer of such a huge verb, I want us to think about it in a slightly different way. So I'm going to throw you a curveball, and I want you to think specifically about how you show up for yourself. Okay? So a little bit about myself. My name is Amanda Onochie. I'm a certified nonprofit professional. I've been working in nonprofits for the past 15 years. And even with all that I've done domestically and internationally, I just started. I just found the courage to step out and start my own consultant business this past January. So, with that, basically, what I do, AB Community Development Solutions, we focus on asset-based community development solutions. Now that's a long, it's a long term, but asset-based is strength-based community systems. So those direct service agencies, those nonprofits, those for-profits that are struggling to connect with their targeted audience, if they are struggling to build staff morale and retain employees, that is what I focus on, helping those business owners, those CEOs, those executive directors reconnect and re-engage and restart some of the pathways that may have fallen to the wayside or have led to a dead end. Now, Jeneea had mentioned a phrase, functioning as a CEO or as an entrepreneur. And I know this oh so well because, again, for the past 15 years, I was doing an amazing job working for somebody else. And I was comfortable with that. I loved being the support. I loved helping uplift others and really making them shine. If I can make someone else's life easier and help them get to their goal, their dream, their whatever faster, I felt pride in that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was an intrapreneur. And I don't know if you guys have heard of that term, but an intrapreneur is exactly what you would assume it means. If entrepreneur is an external individual, an intrapreneur is an internal individual working within a set position, within a set organization, and you are supporting the goals, the mission of that organization. I was a ride or die. I was a ride or die entrepreneur. And it wasn't until I moved across country to support an upcoming startup that I realized just how detrimental it had become, that role, how detrimental it had become for myself. I actually had plans to go do some research and go to grad school and, start my business in Chicago, Illinois. But when someone had asked me to come down to Texas, I dropped my plans, came right down here to support them in their dream. And I was willing, get this, I was willing to devote 10 years of my life to help this person reach their dream. That's just how much I care. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the expense of myself, I had chosen to do that. Thankfully, this past January, I decided, enough is enough. I have so many gifts. I have so many projects, so many businesses that I've put on the back burner, thinking that, okay, you know what? I know this business is going to take off. Let me first help this person. Let me first help that person get their stuff started, and I'll come back to mine. And I wonder, I can't hear you guys now, but in a little bit, I want to know who that resonates with. Who is so busy helping other people that you have put your dreams on the back burner and you're waiting, you know what? When I get smart enough, I got to learn more about the business. I got to learn more first. I have to wait until the kids are out of the house first. I need this certification. I need this degree. I want to know how many of you have been pushing back that dream simply because you feel you are not ready. But with today's topic of execution, you can start at any point in time. You can start where you are right now. You can start researching. You can start with applying for either your nonprofit designation or your filing for your business certification. You can start speaking to a mentor and building a business plan. There are so many levels of execution, ways in which we can show up for ourselves, no matter where you are. So now I recently wrote a what's it called? I recently wrote a blog article for the Nonprofit Leadership Alliance. I'm going to copy and paste that link in the chat so you guys can check it out. Here, I was speaking to all the free sources, or just a couple of the free sources that you can find online to build up your knowledge. So if you find yourself saying, I don't know enough, I need to learn before I start, okay, you know what? Plenty of people have learned on the go, but if you do want to build up a foundation of knowledge, you can go to these websites. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat now. All right. And if it doesn't show up now, then after, right before we switch speakers, I'll post it again. So on this list, you'll find websites like LinkedIn Learning. Now, I know you guys have heard of that. LinkedIn Learning, you can actually build a portfolio of different certificates. And it's not just Microsoft Word, Gmail, or any of the Google Suite. They are actually truly deep concepts within any industry. So if you were looking into cybersecurity, if you wanted to look into management, how to manage your staff, how to manage your future staff, there's information there for you. And it's some of it is free. You can have a free trial for a month, or you can sign up today and start that that learning journey. I know a lot since COVID has started, a lot of the libraries have actually been offering free access to LinkedIn Learning. I know the bibliothèque, I'm on the south side of San Antonio, the bibliothèque right down the street from my house, with your library card and your account, you get LinkedIn Learning free. You also get additional resources like if you need to learn an additional language, you also have those resources free to you. I often tell my family and my friends, if you know English and you can comprehend English, there's nothing stopping you. You can go online right now and Google neuroscience. You can Google computer science. You can Google just about anything. If you want to start a candle business, you can go online right now and find every single step to starting your candle business. There is nothing truly in your way to beginning your business, to beginning your process. Okay? So now let's say you're past the education phase. You want to, where you're starting would be after that. Okay, so what is after that? Well, let's talk about business plans, right? Ms. Jeneea had mentioned creating a business plan, having a vision. And I actually just spoke to one of my clients recently about having a clear vision. If you don't have a vision, you don't know where you're going. You know, it's simple as that. So building a vision, even if you are a for-profit, you still need some kind of direction. So there are a number of places where you can get that done. I actually was just appointed as a board member for a business incubator here in San Antonio. It's called Emerge and Rise. And we have slots still open for our fall cohort. In this cohort, you'll be with a number of other small business owners who are just starting. Actually, they're in different levels of production, but you'll be going through a 12-week course, learning about different components of your business plan. You'll be speaking to industry experts, and all kinds of information will be coming your way so that you can put that in your portfolio and start really churning out some good content with your business plan. All right. Now, a little bit more about Emerge and Rise. It is a business incubator, but it also is a nonprofit incubator. I know there's a number of incubators here around town. So if Emerge and Rise does not suit you, okay, please find another that does. Right now, we just want to focus on connecting individuals and giving them that opportunity to step into entrepreneurism, or just becoming a business owner, really taking that hobby and making it a dream, something that you, excuse me. Oh my gosh. That is my timer. So I got 5 minutes. Okay. But yeah, so just really making that dream come true. At this point in time, in this day and age, there are no safety. There's no safety net. There's no guardrails. You can go as far out as you would like. You know, if you want to try to go down this right path, go down as far as you can. And if it doesn't work out, okay, let's come back and let's try something else down this left path. There are endless possibilities. If you were to go onto Instagram right now, you'll see a number of people selling resin keychains, candles, butters and creams. They're all the same. They may be even sourcing their information, sourcing their products from the same place, but they're adding their own brand to it. So it is never too late to start. It is never too saturated for you to begin. I want you to leave today thinking more about how you can show up for yourself. What are you doing for your dream? You know, on the tail end of Juneteenth, the Langston Hughes infamous poem, one of my favorite poems, is "What happens to a dream deferred?" And I want you to really think about that. What will happen to your deferred dream? Are you going to wait until you no longer have that energy, that buzz around it? Are you going to allow it to shrivel up? Are you going to wait until you feel that you are competent enough, you are credible enough to step out with it? So, shameless plug before I leave you guys. I do want to let you know that I will be having a Eventbrite virtual session speaking on self-promotion. So many of us, we're amazing individuals, but sometimes if we have been stuck in the workforce, we don't quite know how to reflect all of our assets. So and we may even be taught that displaying all that information, speaking too highly of yourself is frowned upon, or it's just it's a faux pas. But I really want us, all of us, men and women alike, to stand in our expertise, to stand in our power and acknowledge all that we know. So if you're interested in how to display that on your resume, on social media, on any other platform you may have, I will have I will have virtual and in-person sessions started in July. So I think I am about time. So I will stop talking, but please, if you're interested, I would love to get you connected to Emerge and Rise and any other incubator out there. So I will leave my information with Jeneea to send to you guys. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Jeneea?
Hear me? That
Okay, I can
was
hear you now.
and before you go, that was so amazing. Please let everybody know where to find you one more time.
Okay, so right now, because again, I just started, like you, I am trying to get, I'm learning more about social media, right? I have taught so many about branding, and now when it comes to my own, I get lazy. So don't judge my Instagram. I'm adding stuff, but I have an Instagram, and right now I am on LinkedIn. So if you're interested in continuing a conversation, find me on LinkedIn.
Great question. And before I'm going to open it up to our studio audience in the chat here, I want to know how effective is LinkedIn. I hear about it a lot, but don't know really how to utilize it, because you shift from Facebook friends to LinkedIn biz associates, right? So just real quick, can you answer that question for us?
Yeah, sure. So depending on what your business is, you are going to utilize different social media platforms or a combination of social media platforms. If you are looking to connect with the general public, then Facebook is your guy. Facebook and Instagram. If you are looking to work with other professionals, other nonprofits, other businesses, if that is your target audience, then LinkedIn is where you need to get set up. On LinkedIn, you can have a business page that displays all your information, also all of your successes. So if you want to start with branding, start with LinkedIn. Also, websites. But again, if nobody knows your website exists, no one's going to go there. So again, start with LinkedIn and then adding your information there so that all of your immediate friends can then blast it out to their networks, and it just continues to grow from then on.
Okay. All right. Well, that is motivated me to get out here and just get started and push forward. Does anyone have any questions?
All right. Well, I did put the link to that article in the chat, so you can go ahead and grab it from there.
Awesome. I put it in the chat so everyone else can see it as well. All right. They definitely excited. You was very helpful. That's super awesome. All right. Well,
Awesome.
I thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on, Miss Amanda. I definitely will continue with you and the organization because I definitely think it's going to be super beneficial. That was great, Miss Elena said. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye. I hope you guys was definitely encouraged. I am definitely encouraged because, like I said, I'm getting out of this entrepreneurship in my own business, and I am quick to start up a business. Right, give me like 3 hours, and you'll have a whole organization. But I am learning even myself every day to execute and absolutely move like a boss. So before we have our last speaker, anyone in the chat wants to present their business or have any questions? I don't think we have some. All right, Mr. Sean.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm
Hi,
all right.
welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay,
Hey.
that's good to hear. Well, go ahead and introduce and present your organization. And if you have any questions for the first year, it's great too.
Well, I gotta say for sure that man, that last speaker right there was really awesome. She had a lot of information that was well presented, and I was like, that's amazing. I guess what I'm doing is I have a podcast that's a traveling podcast. It's called Make History, and what's Make History is about this overcoming obstacles within your history as you are presenting yourself on a daily basis. And what it is just anything that you feel like you couldn't do, or you feel like you can't do. Just knowing that you're not giving up and you're not giving in on it. You're making history within yourself, kind of like what we're doing right now.
Awesome. Good. All right, you guys. So Make History podcast. Look out. Actually, I'm just gonna, brag on myself. I was his first guest. Okay. I'm just saying. And we're gonna be doing
Yeah. So
some up-to-date things. We're gonna be doing some very soon. So you had
yeah,
something to show?
I don't know how I don't know how delayed I am on the call right now, but overall, like you can catch Make History on Spotify. You can catch me on Instagram. You can catch me on Facebook. You can catch me on your iPhone. Podcast there's many stories on there. Jenea's, of course, fire story that started off, and there's a lot of a history that goes along with that. So, yeah, let's get it.
Right, Mr. Sylvester D. Mitchell, that is. said, where is a good place to launch a podcast?
I think a good place to launch a podcast is pretty much right in your home. I think you just purchase something that produces audio, and and as of right now, you can produce YouTube and platforms like Restream or StreamYard or any of those platforms. You can start a, a podcast with any of those now. As of right now, podcasting is starting to be. It's really saturated at this point. But what can you do to be able to podcast at a different level to help others and educate others? I think that will just putting better information outside of the box, just putting that information out there, just making sure that you're excited about what you're doing and passionate. That's
Wow. And Amanda said she had met a 5-year-old who has a podcast. Wow. Okay, I need to catch up. I need to just start like Miss Anjanette Wilson said. We just need to get started. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I just wish, but know that you're going to be very successful with Make History Podcast. It is a great platform. Did you have some last words?
No, I'm just saying, thing to do is also invest into yourself. I think as of right now, just making sure that you have, just do your research on the type of equipment that you need or the type of equipment that to afford, and then start. Come up with a plan, come up with a vision, make sure that vision is towards something that that about, and then speak from your heart, and things to get through.
Now, one question just to add to what he asked, is there a specific platform in which you believe that someone should use over another one?
I'm using okay, so there's a couple of them right now. You can go through Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is the one that I'm using, and that will connect your platform, connect your podcast platform to everything that you can get to. Any platforms that sorry, basically iTunes,
Okay.
Spotify.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and just introducing yourself and giving us that valuable information. And all right. You just have a good day, sir. Put you back in the chat. All right, Miss Anjanette Wilson, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I had a question as to what's the name of the podcast that he was using. I didn't catch the name.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. Let me add it. Let me get him back. There we go, Mr. Sean.
What's the name of the podcast, Sean? Hey.
It's called Make. Got it on my right there. It's my name right there.
Right, it's Make History. But what's the name of the platform that you use?
What platform?
The platform is Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout. Okay.
Right.
Nice. Thank you for that information, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. While you're on here, Anjanette, do you have a business? Anything that you're starting soon?
I actually I have so many things going on. It's ridiculous. But so I have Anjanette Speaks. I am a motivational speaker. And what I do with Anjanette Speaks is I talk about intraracial issues. I talk about things that affect our community. This next stint, I'm looking into voting, talking about voting and how important that is because they're changing the laws on us behind our back without us even knowing. And so, so it's a lot going on. And I think that we need to know. I think we're always the last ones to try to catch up. And so that's my thing. And so to talk about interracial issues, things that go on in our community, and you know, everybody's got the coming together piece. But I think if we get ourselves together and our families together, then we can come out into our communities and be effective. So Anjanette Speaks, I am on going to be on Saturdays. And it's going to be the first Saturday in July. We're going to start. I'm just going to go back to it. Just Saturdays, 2 p.m. If you want to be there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. So we're just going to go back to it. Like you said, start at home. So that's what I'm doing. And I appreciate you saying that because that's so motivating. Just because I'm all like, I need a studio, I need this, I need that. And he like, start right there on your couch. All right, cool. That's what I'm going to do. So that's what I do. Anjanette Speaks. It's 2 p.m. on Saturdays. First Saturday in July. Look for me. Let's talk about it. The real, the raw, and the inspiring.
Awesome. Ooh, the title right there. Well, I just say kudos. I'm glad that you're just getting right back out. That is not going to be perfect, but you can build. And if you never start, you can't finish. So
that's right.
Awesome. Definitely keep us in tune so we can share and invite people and make sure you tune in. Anjanette Speaks. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I'm going to go right into your night. If you stay on, I do have a gift for the person that is still on at the end of this live. I got to definitely support one here, okay? Exclusive surprise. But right now, I'm going to invite, okay, listen. Okay. I have been bothering this speaker for a while to come on and be a part of my organization here. I'm not going to belittle myself. But, I know he didn't know who I was from anything, but I did. I was a part of a meeting, and I've learned to get into networks or doors that people may not even think I should be in, or people around me have never even talked about. Sometimes in order to execute, you got to go outside of your circle. You got to go outside of your circumstances. You got to go be uncomfortable somewhere around some people you don't even know. They don't even know how to pronounce your name. But guess what? They have what it takes. They have the information you need in order to be successful. So I said, I was at work too, let me tell you. Hope my job ain't following me, right? And in the middle of answering calls, I am tuned in and I am listening to this webinar full of information about being certified business owner and contracts and all these things, and my brains is going crazy because I never heard these terminologies before. But I said, listen, I got to get around it. I got to get connected to it. I got to find out who's going to help me get out of bracket into the level. So in order to execute, I'm going to say this right now. You have to be comfortable. For one, you shouldn't be comfortable in the level that you're in right now, because if you are, you're just going to decline because you should be increasing. So in order to fully execute, you got to get up your feelings about it and just put forth the work. What are we talking about? Plan, procedures, and prosper. Probably wasn't what I used, but y'all know what I'm saying. You got to do it. You got to just start, like we talked about. You got to just start. So I'm going to introduce now our last speaker of the night, Mr. Charles Johnson.
Woohoo!
Sir.
Jeneea, thank you. I'm well, and it has been several attempts to get me on the line. So here I am.
but I was persistent. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, go ahead.
That's a golden nugget for everyone to take through your this networking event right here is be persistent, and that you were. So here I am.
Yes. Well, I thank you so much for time, and I know you got plenty of information. I got paper and pen. I'm finna write my own notes. I don't know about y'all, but go ahead, Mr. Charles Johnson. Go ahead and introduce yourself fully, and I'm going to back on out of here.
Okay, fantastic. Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Charles Johnson. I'm the Executive Director for the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency, also known as the SCTRCA. Jeneea and I have been talking via email for quite some time of trying to get onto this event to kind of talk about another phase of business that a lot of our individuals and business owners have never heard about. Or if you have heard certain things that you just really just digest or really pay too much attention to. I want to thank all of the other the speakers before me. They had some really great information in the space of entrepreneurship. I'm also an entrepreneur, been an entrepreneur probably over close to 35 years. I'm a science guy, so I started in the science arena doing testing for contaminated water and soil analysis. So I did very well in that industry, sold the company and made a lot of money. And so the SCTRCA is a nonprofit organization that I used to chair about 7 years ago. And now I'm the executive director. I've been here now 5 years and growing. The big thing that we do here is that we certify small minority women-owned businesses. So if you have a business that's currently, or even thinking about a business, say you're not even, all the foundation hasn't been set. You'll hear this term certification, certified, get yourself certified. And so that's a broad term. And so be careful when people say certified. Some you think, oh, certify as a plumber, certify as an electrician, certify yourself as an architect. But this certification is if you're seeking to do business with any public entity, private entity, there's a certification that comes with that gives some preferences and points to you if they should select your firm to do business with. So there are a lot of solicitations out here from the city, the county, via, and I would advise go to my website, www.S as in Sam, C as in Charlie, T as in Tom, R as in Russ, C as in Charlie, A as in Apple.org. And go and see a list of our corporate sponsors as well as our member entities. And those are all the people that I interact and interface with. So if you see someone on there you want to do business with, definitely give me a call at 210-227-4722, extension 304. Also, I'll put my email into the chat so that way if you want to send an email, you can do that as well. But certification, here we have two certifications. We have the local program as well as the federal program. Our local program, you may have heard some things called small minority women veteran-owned businesses. So it's a mouthful. However, there are a lot of bid solicitations that are out where people are getting very wealthy, being certified and doing work for some of these entities. Prime example, just using myself. My first contract when I was certified in Austin, I started out in Austin, and my first contract being certified as a minority-owned firm, I made my first check was with a company called Optech out of Houston. We had a Superfund site, and it was $96,000. At that time, I was 27 and started the business. Didn't know a whole lot. I was a biology pre-med major, and I would suggest in the space of entrepreneurship, if you're looking to go that route, take some classes. I took a intro to business. I took marketing, and I took econ. And I felt those three would kind of help me just to know the language. So when you're talking about entrepreneurship, you need to know the language because that's going to help you kind of navigate as you try to get into some of these doors. And so once you you say you get your business and you say, hey, I want to do work with the city of San Antonio. There are a lot of different types of businesses that are certified in our database. And just the fact that the session is called Execution and then Move Like a Boss, the platform. Right now in our database, we have out of 3,072 certified vendors, 1,310 of those are women-owned businesses that are in our database. So women make up a great amount in our database, and they're doing very well in the contracting opportunities here in this city. So again, if you have any type of business, from being a realtor, a caterer, you do promotional items, you do speaking engagements, there's something for you with some of our member entities that can use your services. And in these bid solicitations, they have a 20%, 30% goal that they must adhere to satisfy that contract. And so this is where they seek out small minority women, veteran-owned businesses. And so I would encourage each of you on the line to really look at that. And again, I use myself. At another story, I'd gone to a pre-bid, and they have these pre-bids, and these pre-bids are really just for people to go out and you kind of introduce yourself and see who the players are going to be on projects. And I was sitting next to a lady, and she had my business card on her knee. And so I didn't know who she was, but my business card was on her knee. And so one of the things I tell businesses is to go to these pre-bids, because you never know who's looking for you. So here it was, this lady was looking for me. I didn't even know who she was. So to make a long story short, she says, after the presentation was over, and I approached her and I said, hey, are you looking for that person on that card? And she said, yeah, do you know who he is? And I said, well, hey, today is your lucky day. I said, I'm that guy. And she was like, no way. And I said, yes way. And she says, man, I'm so glad that you came. I was looking for you. And basically that intro and being at that pre-bid would end up turning out to be a $85,000 contract. So just me showing up and being present somewhere made all the difference for my business. And so it was a win-win. She was looking for me. Hey, I'm always looking for business to grow, and things happen. And also there's certifications for different types. You have for your public entities, you have certification for the state, which is called a hub, historically underutilized businesses. Then you also have certification for the public sector. Private sector is the Minority Business Council. So look at your business structure or the one that you're creating and see which one best fits your business model of what certification to take and to apply to. All certifications may not fit what you're doing, and that's okay. But I say, start with one at least. It doesn't stop you from doing anything that you're currently doing in the way that you're making money. This is just another caveat to add to your portfolio of revenue stream. And anyone who's in business, that's a number one goal, is to make sure you have different revenue streams. I currently have a company in Atlanta. We do cater to busy executives. So when I'm in Atlanta, I hang out with the reality stars from Nene to Portia to, single ladies, Lisa Ray, and the whole gamut. So, and we provide chef services to them on an individual basis. So I am very connected in so many areas of doing business. And I would suggest that anyone, if certification is not your thing, make it your thing, because again, that's another piece that's out there where a lot of money's on the table. And unfortunately, we have been missing out. I think I heard someone say we're the last ones to know. And this is one of those cases where it's a program to help to kind of level the playing field. And I suggest that you take advantage of it. If you're here locally in the San Antonio area, the certification with our agency, it's free. There's no charge. And it takes about 2 to 4 weeks for us to get you certified. We're going to ask you some documents. And those documents are just to show that, and say, you are who you say you are and the services that you seek to perform. It doesn't take, once you go through the process, it's okay. You got a renewal process that will take place every 2 years, where you have to renew. And but you don't have to do a whole full application. It's just a one pager just to make sure there were no changes and in the business structure and that sort of thing. But I would suggest that you guys really, really take a look at certification. And then also co-ops. Co-ops is another term that a lot of us have not heard of. And co-ops are kind of the currency. I think I heard Jeneea talk about money moving while you sleep. And I always tell my clients, the reason why they call money is they call it currency because it's always moving. And so that's where you sleeping, it's always moving. So as we sleep, somebody's making money somewhere. And with the co-ops, it's kind of one of those are bids that never hit the street, but they're underground and a lot of people are making a lot of money. So I'll be more than happy to talk with each of one of you on a one-on-one about a little bit more about co-ops, to give you a better understanding about that. But that's another deal outside of certification that we have been left out and not understanding how that works. So my job here at the agency is really to inform, to educate, to ensure that businesses know what all their options are as it relates to how they move and how they do business. I tell people, don't worry about making money, worry about providing value. Because that's where all the money's going to come. Once you provide the value to someone, the money's going to come. And then I always use, terms like, enjoy the journey of entrepreneurship. As an entrepreneur myself, the journey is beautiful because you never know where it's going to end and not necessarily always looking for the destination. Just enjoy the journey of it. Build your foundation. That's one of the things that I found when I talk to a lot of individuals who seek to get certified, and then some of my personal clients, is that the foundation is not solid. So make sure you have a solid foundation when you start, almost like building a house. They lay the slab first, and then they start putting up the framing of the house. And so make sure your foundation is solid, because if it's not, bad things can happen down the road. I think Jeneea said something very key, get uncomfortable. A lot of times when we're in business, we always want to do business with people who look like us. My business as when I did testing for contaminated water and soil analysis, I only had one Black client. And not to say that, anything was wrong with it, but the profession that I was in, it was 98% white males. And that's, and here I was, this young Black kid, trying to run a company. And but I didn't shy away from it. I embraced it all, and I walked right in. And it was, some days it was uncomfortable because nobody looked like me. However, I made the best of the business and made some really, met some really good people on the other side. So get yourself uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable, that's when you grow. If you're comfortable on the line right now, you're not growing. I can tell you that right now. And also, as another nugget, surround yourself around people who are moving and shakers. I used to attend the Black Enterprise conferences, and they have one for ladies. And those are some of the best places to get out to see what other people are doing globally. So get uncomfortable so that you can grow. I can assure you that it will change your life. Read books. A lot of times we don't read enough books, but read some books, because that's where you're going to gain a lot of knowledge. One of the things also, there are several resources here in the city. You have the Maestro Center, you have the PTAC, you have SCORE. Then we're getting ready to start back up this thing called BOA, the Business Opportunity Academy. So stay tuned for that. Jeneea, I'll keep you informed. And that's where we will have businesses that are on this call that are just starting up. And then they're going to interface with people from the city, the county, many of the public entities that are here in this city, your HEBs, your Spurs, and have people to kind of go through probably a 6-week course. But it's a course of learning how to do business with these different entities. And we will do stuff like get your headshots and things of that nature, just to kind of solidify and make your business foundation solid. So with that, Jeneea, I will stop there because I have much to say and can say, but I want to leave some time for some of your guests to ask specific questions. It doesn't matter if it's related to certification or business by itself, or what I do on my off days. So I'll turn it over to you. Thank you. Is that a window that I keep talking?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear
Okay.
someone.
So this is Amanda again.
Hi.
While Jeneea is coming back on, I have a question for you. Well,
Sure.
a comment. So I had no clue that the certification, the designations of women-owned or minority-owned or veteran-owned, I had no clue they were free. Because when I initially looked into it, as you had mentioned, there are so many other companies vying for that, the same audience, and they
Yes.
were charging. And so I almost fell victim to paying for certification. So I'm really glad you're on today telling everybody about the free certification. There's no excuse not to get it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's some that are out there that do charge, like the Minority Business Council. They do a charge, and some other ones like sometimes the Women We Bake, they do a charge. So just be sure to check in with that. But I can tell you with our organization, if you live within the 14 counties that we serve here through Bexar County and surrounding areas, there's no fee at all.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know that. And we've heard stories that people have gone and paid, $600,000 to get certified, and then they don't get certified, and then they don't get their money back.
Right. So I have a couple of individuals. So Alana says, what an amazing guest. I'm so glad I'm on here to get this, to experience this. Quan, I'm interested in attending BOA. Do we know what BOA stands for?
Yeah, it's the Business Opportunity Academy.
Okay.
We used to have this about 3-4 years ago here in the city, and it was a huge success because it allowed a new business to kind of plug in and kind of get to know the players in the city. And that's usually a lot of times where people are kind of left out because they're not plugged into the players, and they're out working, doing their thing, granted, and they're working kind of more in the silo. Well, the BOA helps to kind of bring it into more of a fraternity, sorority type deal.
Okay. So since we have some time, could you put your email in the chat?
I did. I don't know if it showed. I have it here. It said private chat. I don't know. Did I put it right?
I don't see it in the main chat. Maybe when Jeneea comes back on, she can move it over to the public chat. But
okay. Oh wait, let me try see if it like me do something.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. I'm sorry. Kendra? She says, Charles, I'm interested in learning more about the certification. What was the name of your website?
It's SCTRCA.org.
Okay. Awesome. And Sean from Make History Podcast, how can you, Charles, mentor anyone? Do you take on individual mentees, or do you just plug them into your network?
Man, let me tell you, I have several that I mentor here in the city, and so no, just feel free to give me a call or send me an email, and let's connect, because that's one of the things I have with my background and experience. I've mentored a lot of people here in the city, and have gotten a lot of people into business, and they're doing very well.
All right. Yes. Okay. So you guys, we we've posted the email before and it's not coming up. We may need the host. So when Jeneea comes back on, she will move that information over.
Thank you guys so much. Had a little technical
No problem.
difficulties over here, but y'all definitely special and rolled on church, right? So, but yes, I will get your email. If you can't put it in the chat, Mr. Johnson.
I put it in there, but it had private chat on here, so I put my name and email, so I don't know.
Oh, gotcha. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it just says private chat right now, so.
Okay, no problem. Let's see this.
So I have another question for you.
Sure.
Contracts. There was a recent study, and there's always been talk about the disparity with minority business owners actually getting into city contracts. But you and I both know that's there may be some truth to it, but it's not as hard as it seems. I know you said that you had a number of business with the city and with other cities, correct?
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. So same as I just recently acquired a partnership with a San Antonio Metro Health District. And again, I didn't even have my business put together. They chose me and they were just waiting for me. So again, like there's no harm in trying, just stepping out and trying. Someone has to get that bid. And as Mr. Charles mentioned, there are points for all of the city departments when getting minority-owned, veteran-owned, or women-owned businesses. So to satisfy those needs, they have to pick somebody. Why not put your name in the ring? So definitely look into getting certified.
Exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people, like I said, they shun away. It's almost like a job description if they say, well, we prefer 5 years. And so people won't even apply. They're like, well, I only have 2 years, and they'll stop. And so it's kind of the same way with certification. But I tell people, go ahead, submit, because you never know.
Exactly.
I'll give another example. I submitted a contract for probably the craziest thing that I've done in business. I had a contract with the state certifying the lottery balls.
Really? That is pretty crazy.
I literally weighed lottery balls every month from pick 3, all the games that they have, and I charged and you can only imagine how many balls. I charged $5 a ball. Yep. So that's the kind of stuff that's out there that people don't even think about with state contracts. And it was just somebody had sent me the email, and I submitted it, and I won the bid at $5 a ball.
See? So Sean says he is the man. Like there are bids out there for everything. So
yes.
Like Mr. Charles mentioned, just see what happens. Put your name in. Throw your bid in. And depending on who you are bidding to, it's also good practice. They'll give you information on how to, build a better bid or what you left out. I know a number of donors, when it comes to nonprofits, a number of donors will do that for you so that you can build a better proposal next time. So, yeah.
Yeah, what they call in this arena, they'll call a debrief. And so if you should lose a bid and you don't, win at that time, you can sit with them and do a debrief, and that will give you the opportunity to ask those questions. What did you do wrong? Was your pricing not right? Was it too high? Was it too low? And then they'll give you that feedback. So that way, hey, you come back again, you're a little bit more prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, when you look at these contracts, be ready. A lot of times you get individuals, they're so eager to win these contracts, but then when they win the contract, they can't execute.
Yes.
So a lot of times you get one shot, and if your deliverables are not good, then more than likely on the next one, even though you got that one, you probably won't get another.
Yep.
You want to make sure you can execute.
Yeah, we're not looking for one and done. We're looking to build sustainable, mutually beneficial partnerships, multi-year. All right, so I believe Jeneea. Oh, she's back.
Yes,
awesome.
I'm still here. Yes, I'm here. I'm listening. You guys are still giving out good information. So I said, let me just let you guys go. So for me, and I'm definitely going to get with you, Charles, consistency because for me, I am certified. Need to start building myself up to, get in these contracts, right?
Right.
And I'm no longer afraid, because we got to talk about that too. Sometimes you have fear of what success or failure, and that's why you don't push forward.
Spot on.
Yep. You're right.
So, to the audience, are you able to unmute yourself, or do we need Jeneea? Okay. So in the chat, if you guys can type in who has actually filed their business, who's filed, who's in the process, who is still in the ideation stage. All right, so Kwan's in the process. Oh, Kendra, you filed. All right, all right. Miss Alana, are you still with us? All right. Well, no, that's great. You guys have taken the first step. So again, there are too many avenues. There's too many avenues readily available to individuals here. Just try it out. And again, if you start one business and in 3, 5, 10 years, you're like, you know what? I want to start something else. There's no harm done. You can do that. Alana says that she's in the process now and that she has a business name. Awesome. Sean, I need to. Can it be with a traveling podcast? Sean, I don't quite understand. Charles, do you understand the question?
So I think he could be asking, is there any room to have his business as a podcast to be certified? So here's what I tell people when they ask me that question, because I had some realtors ask me that. They're like, I'm a realtor, how does that work out for me? So some certification is just like picking, if you go to college, and it's like picking a degree. Some degrees that you get, the job market is screaming for it, and you're going to do very well. Then some degrees that you seek to get, they don't do as well. But not to say that nothing will happen, but the market may not be screaming for it. So from a podcast standpoint, it can be certified, and sometimes it's just good to have it certified, just to show yourself approved as a building block for your business, that you allow someone to pour your business through a filter and it came out, and bada boom, bada bang, you're certified. But it allows other companies that sometimes they put bid solicitations out, and sometimes they're those one-offs. And so the whole podcast piece could be one. And then the message that you're putting out could be something that one of the institutions want to hear, especially when you talk about SAISD as well as Alamo colleges.
Okay. So Sean, definitely when we get the email to you, I do expect you to email and get connected with Mr. Charles and get all your questions answered. I know I'm gonna take this time right now to ask even more questions. So for those who are multi-passionate individuals, entrepreneurs, I have a candle making business, I have a podcast, I also want to start a YouTube channel, and I have a consultancy business. Do you need to file for all of those things, or is there a way to stack them into one another?
What I would suggest is get a parent company, and then put the rest as doing business as.
Okay, so DBA.
So start with the LLC. Say you're, Angela Enterprise LLC, and then everything else under that go as a DBA.
Okay, that's awesome.
That way you only have to use but one EIN number versus multiples.
Okay. Now, you guys, do you have any other questions? I know we're coming up on time, so I definitely want to give you guys the floor if you have anything to share or any questions, any events coming up? So while they're thinking up some questions,
Okay.
Charles, are you working out of office? Is your team working in office? Can I come and sit down, or do I have to do this virtually?
No, you can come and sit down. We've been working in a hybrid. I allow probably the staff to come in maybe twice a week, and then the rest they can work from home. So, but I'm here every day.
Okay, fantastic.
So yeah, so you can send me an email and get on my calendar and come by and we can talk about it.
Okay.
Brainstorm.
So Jeneea, if you are back on, feel free to jump in and kick me off. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm a talker, so Kendra says, Charles, can I get a certification for a clothing business?
We sure can. What we have what they call NAICS codes. They're industry codes. It's a 6-digit, and that's how we will identify your business by looking up the NAICS codes. And so with the clothing, yes, because sometimes they put on plays. They need certain people for certain parts of the bid solicitation. I mean, you'd be surprised some of the bids that come out of the city. It's unbelievable. So yeah. So let's get you going.
Okay. So
sometimes also with the clothing, they may do something with students Dress for Success, and so those kind of things come into play where you can consult with the youth and how they should look for interviews and what's business casual, what's casual. A lot of those things that bid solicitations come out for.
Kendra, what kinds of clothes, what kind of audience do you cater to? I think Jenea's coming back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. I've been in the background listening. You guys are super awesome. This was just so wonderful. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I hope you guys got some valuable information. I know I'm definitely excited and motivated to continue to push forward and to execute. I thank you so much to my amazing speakers. I know you can't see me yet, but I hope you can hear me. To Miss Amanda and Mr. Charles, I thank you for your time, and you guys so rock. Y'all are so awesome. I am definitely going to connect with both of you guys and your organization because it's time to go to the next level. There's too much out there available for us, waiting for us, on reserve for us, and we're not going after it. So we have to start executing. We got to put this plan in motion. We got to not be afraid to ask questions, to connect with the people that has the information, the tools that we have to build that strong foundation that Mr. Charles talked about. Get the tools so you can be successful. All right. So I thank you guys one more time, Mr. Charles and Miss Amanda, for coming on and teaching us today. And you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. And to the audience, before I decided to execute. I know you guys cannot see me. I hope you still hear me. I apologize for my webcam right now. But I decided to do something about my visions. I have written some things out. I have put some things on paper, but I have not executed like I should execute. So I decided to finally put forth the effort and execute. Person, and it looks like Miss Elena has been still with us today. She hasn't left us throughout the whole entire thing. So Miss Elena, can you see me? I think I should be coming on soon. Let's see. And I'm going to close this out because this internet service is acting up a little bit here on my end. Let's see here. I don't know if you guys can still hear me, but Miss Elena, I'm going to give you something for staying with me today. So for you guys that have a problem with execution, okay, I want to go. I think I'm seeing now. And then I'm going to end it here. So I decided to execute. Okay, no problem. I started to execute. I decided to put forth my brain power, research, and push forward. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So real quick, I created this manual right here. So this book right here is called the Execute Planner. Not for sure if you guys see me or I'm going to post it later. But Miss Elena, I'm going to give you this planner. Okay? I'm going to give you this Execute Planner that I created for scheduling. Okay? So it got some information in there. It has your priority. It has the notes in there. It has the execution. So from now on, I want you to stay on schedule and I want to make sure that you're executing. And if you guys want this book, I want you to go, and I'm going to put the link below, and I want you to go to Amazon and download my book. All right. So I'm going to end it here because the internet is kind of doing some funny things. But once again, I thank God. I thank you guys for my speakers that have came on. I thank everybody for being a part of this. And I'm going to end it here because the internet is doing some funny things, right? But once again, this execution planner is what I wrote. It's by my company. And I'm going to give this nice gift to Elena. And if you want this, I'm going to put the link below. You can go to Amazon. It's right on Amazon, and you can get it and you can download it. But thank you so much for you guys being a part. Sorry for the internet disruption. I hope you got your information. You guys have a wonderful day. See you guys later. Bye-bye.